coveted room.
Gave her mother 40 whacks.
I call upon the spirits of this house to grant us a moment of your time.
When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41.
Take my hands, it might help.
Don't you dare touch me, you bitch.
Tara?
I killed you once, so I'll kill you again.
It's just a family history.
You mean the Borden family curse?
Let's just start with seeing Dr. Sanchez tomorrow.
I'm not crazy.
Mid-teens is when this disease first manifests. And you can be prone to fits of anger.
Stop going in my room!
And violence. Experience multiple personalities. Use different voices. Hear voices.
You okay?
I do think it's interesting that both women are missing.
You don't know anything about that.
I'm not gonna let anyone hurt you. Ever. Please don't do this.
I just don't want you to get hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are so happy to have with us here the talented director of a brand new film called The Inhabitant. We have Jerren Lauder here. Jerren, what's up, man?
Hey man, not a lot. Just happy to be talking about this movie. That was a great intro. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love that robin's egg blue you're rocking on your hands too. That looks good.
Oh, thank you. I got two different colors.
Yeah, I usually have
you.
black, but no black today. Let's get into this film. This is how do I put this? It's an interesting perspective that you've done with this film. Can you kind of give the audience a little bit about what this film is and what it's about?
Sure, thank you. So the film's called The Inhabitant. It's about a young woman named Tara who's dealing with all the teenage stuff, separation anxiety and boyfriends and families. And around, she's actually descended from Lizzie Borden, who was a true life woman who may or may not have committed axe murder on her family. So in the present day, some murders start happening in the small town around where the Lizzie Borden murders happened, and Tara starts to deal with, is it perhaps her or someone in her family that is enacting these murders? It's part slasher, it's part psychological thriller, it's all very fun. And it's compelling. And
yeah, it's all in that little 97-minute package that you put together here with a fantastic cast that you have here. How did you get these fantastic actors? You have Leslie Bibb in here, Dermot Mulroney, who is the man, Michael Cooper, great young actor, and then of course Lizzie Broadway, who's in here as well. I've never seen her in much of anything else, so it was a bit of a surprise for me to see her in this, and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." Can you talk about how you got all these excellent actors together for this project?
Sure. Odessa and Lizzie were, I came on, when I boarded the project, the producers already cast kind of a wide net, and both Lizzie Broadway and Odessa Zion really stood out, like immediately. So we were happy to find them. Odessa was in the Netflix show Grand Army.
Yeah.
Lizzie, yeah. So they, Dermot had also already boarded. I love Dermot. You're right. He is the man. I just did another movie with him. He's incredible. Leslie came on later in the process through a bunch of chaotic happenings with COVID and stuff. We had people drop out and new people come on, but it worked out for the best because I think Leslie's incredible and incredible in the fabric of the movie and incredible with the other actors. So just like any movie, it was kind of a maybe a stressful but exciting time to get all these actors involved and bring through different processes and help collaborate and create what it is that whatever it is we put out into the world, which is this crazy kind of stew of tones and stuff.
I love that. And Odessa, you're right. She's a show stealer. I saw her in a comedy last year, and she stole every scene she was in Mark and Mary and some other people. She
She's
stole
great
every
in that.
scene in that movie.
Yeah,
I,
she's really great. Yeah, and gets
I
to play
love
some music
that.
in that movie. She's very
Yeah.
musical.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. And I got to tell you, when I was surprised by the film itself, because I went in thinking, okay, this is just going to be one of those B movie things that I'm going to have to deal with. And it wasn't that at all. There's actually some work being put into both the writing, which the script is a lot better than I thought it was. Kevin Batcher, is that right?
Kevin Bakar. Yeah,
Bakar wrote this
yeah.
thing, and your eye for it, putting it together, all came together really nicely. Was that a collaborative thing between you and Kevin, or was that more of you saw the script, you read the script, you loved it, and you kind of just put your eye to it?
Thanks, man. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. It was I like to collaborate. That's what the best part about this art form is the collaboration. Kevin was on set the whole time. Yeah, he wrote a great, fun, pulpy thriller that had a lot of elements that I thought that I was uniquely suited to bring to it as well, which is there is all the stuff about a female, a young woman, a young person dealing with day-to-day life. The grounding it in what I like to say is all the tone of it was all the actors were just supposed to act as if they're in a family drama. The horror stuff is just happening around them. That was the kind of personality that I saw that I wanted to bring to it. And then I love horror movies, but I love all movies. I went to school thinking I'd be like Terrence Malick, which is so stupid, right? But that was many years ago. Hopefully I brought this kind of odd to like I love working with actors and the tone of it. We referenced everything from Black Swan to I don't know. Black Swan was a big one though. Which Black Swan is one of my favorite movies, but it's always kind of like, is that a horror movie? Is it not? I don't know. There's horror elements, and so this had slasher elements. This had the psychological thriller things, and I wanted to combine those all in this. Like I like to call it emo horror is kind of the way I was describing it. So
See, now you're talking my language here. I'm a bit of an emo kid myself, so you're talking my
nice.
language here. No, what I saw, I did see sort of the Black Swan vibes, but that movie is based off one of my favorite movies, Perfect Blue. So that then I loved those undertones that I saw there. And you're right, I did see a lot of that going on there, and emo horror is probably a good assessment there of what's going on.
Thanks, man. Love Perfect Blue.
Yeah, who doesn't, right? It's one of the most
exactly.
perfect animated films ever made. It's absolutely excellent. And that's actually funny that you mentioned that, because that gets into my next two questions, which are about you, Jerren. The first one,
Okay.
I always like to ask all my guests, because I always get interested with what I'm given with this question, is who are some artists that you look to? And by the way, I'm glad you didn't take after Terrence Malick, because I don't like Terrence Malick. But who are some artists that you look to, inspirations you look to in this business, whether it be directors, actors, people that you've collaborated with?
That's a great question. I mean, Darren Aronofsky is a huge inspiration to me. I feel like because he's always done his own thing. It's been like, this is the personality I'm bringing to the material, and it always stands out. And I think in this industry, you need to stand out a bit. No matter what piece of the puzzle you are, you have to kind of bring something that stands out. So, yeah, I like the artists that bring personality to the material. Odessa is one of those. Odessa definitely is an inspiration. Leslie is, I mean, all the actors in this. By the way, I wanted to go back. Lizzie Broadway is one of the leads in the new The Boys spinoff show that's coming out on Amazon. So
Really?
Look out for her. She's going to be, that's going to blow up. So Darren Aronofsky, Paul Verhoeven, RoboCop, I often go back to as probably my favorite movie, like in terms of I didn't know it at the time when I was a kid watching it, but it's fun, it's pulpy, it's entertaining, and then the older I get, and every time I watch it, you see all these hidden meanings and these deeper things, and the satire of it, and the things it can say about the world, and it's so violent and in your face. Like that is a movie that I kind of often will say All In is probably my favorite movie, or probably influenced me the most. And then I like someone like Soderbergh or anyone like that can kind of jump around between genres and tones and still bring their own unique personality to everything. So I'm currently like I really admire Lee Wanell,
Yes,
Invisible Man, and he made a movie called Upgrade that I think he was influenced by
I
RoboCop too. So
love Upgrade. So
it's
yeah,
great. Yeah. And then lastly, not lastly, there's so many, but I really always look to that era of the South Koreans. I Saw the Devil is one of my favorite movies by Kim Ji-woon. Those guys are doing something that's just tonally all over the place and somehow make it all like a singular vision. And I really admire that. I think that and the way they move the camera and the way they're able to convey emotion and storytelling points just purely visually and cinematically and aurally through sound. I just it really gets me going. I love that stuff. So I
I,
hope
I
that's kind
love
of a
I love that answer because RoboCop is one of
oh,
my favorite
thanks.
movies. Also, I love that film, and the satire does hit hard. And sadly, the film is still relevant today. The
Oh
messages and
yeah,
the
perhaps
satire
even
is
more
still relevant.
relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To your point with the South Korean films, the South Korean cinema is a lot like Korean barbecue. You get to pick and choose what you want from it. You
I
really
love
do.
that. I
It
love that.
yes, and you transition so well to my next question, which my next question is the hardest question I ask all of my guests, and that is if you
Ooh.
only had two films that you could watch over and over again for the rest of your life, what two would you pick and why?
Oh my gosh. That's a oh man, I'm really on the spot on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've already mentioned RoboCop. I get so much out of that. Let me see. Well, okay. I'm just gonna walk you through my process. There was a 2 week period in my life. This is the weirdest 2 weeks where I stopped going on family vacations with my family. I stayed with my grandparents. This was VHS era. I watched two movies every day back to back, and that was Seven, which I love so much, and then also Jerry Maguire of all things. So, and maybe that's a good way to get at like the emo horror I was talking about. Like I loved Seven and how grimy and gritty and amazing it is, and then Jerry Maguire has this beating heart that I just like. Maybe those are a good way to I don't know. But at other times it's RoboCop and I Saw the Devil. So I'm going to go with two different paths, but those are the two.
I love that because both of those directors, Fincher and Cameron Crowe, are so different. Because Cameron Crowe, everything is so bleeding heart. Everything's got a rhythm to it that comes right from here. Whereas Fincher, everything
Yeah.
seems so sanitized, like it's all got hand sanitizer sprayed all over it, and it's all steel and white walls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I do. They both are able to access and convey a feeling through the cinematic language in entirely different ways, but that's what I love. So
I love
yeah.
that. And I was told I had two questions left. I only have really one question and then an outro left for you. The last
Oh
question
yeah.
is you've already told us about the movie. You told us about the process of getting this thing put together. You told us a little bit about your vision. What I want you to do now is sell us on this movie. Because if I'm on the fence and it's spooky season, so it's the perfect time for this film to come out. If I'm on the fence about checking the film out, why should I?
That's a really great question. I think slashers are back again in a big way, right?
Yeah.
But I think you got to stand out, like I said. I think this is a slasher movie that slasher is the thing you can hang a bunch of other tones on. So this is a slasher movie. This is a psychological thriller. This is also a really fun movie. It's dark, it's scary, but it's fun. And really, the biggest selling point, I'm just going to say it, is the performances and Odessa at the heart of it. People are going to be carried through, whether you're liking the plot or not. People are going to be carried through by that compelling lead character that was written so well by Kevin and that compelling lead performance. So yeah, that's how I would sell it.
You got to give yourself a little credit. It's written by Kevin, but it's also put together by you.
Thanks, man.
Because
I
you got to get
appreciate
that out of him, right? You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
what a director does. You know what I mean? Now, I think that's a pretty good sell job. If people want to follow you and follow the movie and get a hold of you and tell you how much they like the movie, where can they do that if they want to do that?
Good question. I'm not on socials, so but
Thank
I am
God.
lurking. I know. I thank God for that every day that I never committed. Uh, but I am lurking. You can leave your reviews on Letterboxd or anywhere. I'm reading that stuff. And reach out to any of the stars, and I talk to them quite a bit, and I'll see that stuff.
Well,
I
there
have
you
a new
go.
movie I've already finished called Full Ride that'll be out early next year. With Dermot's in it again, McKaylee Miller, and dearly departed Anne Hesh, who I'm so sad about, but I'm really proud of the work we did. And so look out for that as well.
Well, I guess we'll see you then sometime next year when that comes
I hope
out.
so.
You'll
I
be
hope
right
so.
back in this seat. And thank you so much, Jerren, for giving us even a small portion of your day. We really appreciate you being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerren Lauder, check out The Inhabitant. It's out now, am I correct? On VOD?
It's out now, yeah, in theaters and VOD.
Yeah, check it out
So
in
go
theaters.
watch it in the theater.
Yeah, exactly. Horror films are meant to be seen in the theater, right, Jerren?
Yeah, especially we worked really hard on that sound design. Go have it envelop you. Go see it in the theater, then come home, watch it again, and see all the little breadcrumbs we
I love
set
that.
out.
Dude, just listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about. And I look forward to seeing whatever he's going to do next, which, like you said, comes out later this year. Jerren, thank you so much, man, for Film Snob Reviews. This has been William, and we out.